I appreciate your honesty in how you feel about Hillary Clinton. Look, this was bad. You know, I can't sugarcoat it. She was wrong, and clearly it's not helpful to Democrats going into the midterms, and certainly not going into 2020. She's put herself in a position where Democrats are going to have to distance themselves from these remarks and distance themselves from her, particularly those Democrats that are running in the states that Donald Trump won, like Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan. So I think the remarks were unfortunate.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. Well, you know, it recently emerged that Hillary Clinton openly bragged, and he was even pitching the idea that we don't care about the center of the country, or we don't care about Colorado, we don't care about Utah, we don't care about Texas, we don't care about Illinois, we don't care about Indiana, we don't care about Oklahoma, we don't care about Mississippi, Louisiana, we don't care about Arkansas, we don't care about South Dakota, North Dakota, we don't care about Michigan, we don't care about any of it. Iowa, Ohio, we care about the coast and the GDP. Yeah, we know how you put all the federal money and everything into the coast, and so you can all siphon it off. You got the biggest poor populations as well. This was bad. Ex-Clinton aide slams Hillary for trashing middle America. It seems to me she's still struggling with coming to terms how she lost and why she lost. Two-time failed presidential candidate Clinton went too far trashing middle America and Trump supporters in her recent remarks as a former top Clinton aide. This was bad, says Patti Solis Doyle on Tuesday in an HNL interview. And here's the deal. You read the WikiLeaks, she goes, I'm so sick of our supporters, pathetic baristas with nothing, no families, because they're all saying they hate families. They know that's wealth. Oh, they're going to have, they don't want you to have a family because they want you all alone. But then they hate you because they don't want to give you anything and you're begging for it. And then the psych warfare head, one of the top Democrats at the university, reaches out to her and he says, we'll keep them in the dark and desperate. But I suggest we use class warfare. And Hillary's like, we already are. And he goes, intensify. And you've seen it, the race war narrative. Unbelievable. So let's play that clip and get Roger Stone's take on it. Here it is.
Joining me now is CNN political commentator, a longtime top aide to Hillary Clinton, Patti Solis Doyle. Patti, I'm sorry, you are in a tough spot. I don't know Hillary like you do, but I always appreciate your honest analysis and insight. So based on the reaction of most people, I don't think I'm hearing this wrong, but you tell me, is this getting lost in translation? Because it sounds really bad.
Well, first, Essie, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate your honesty in how you feel about Hillary Clinton. Look, this was bad. You know, I can't sugarcoat it. She was wrong, and clearly it's not helpful to Democrats going into the midterms, and certainly not going into 2020. She's put herself in a position where Democrats are going to have to distance themselves from these remarks and distance themselves from her, particularly those Democrats that are running in the states that Donald Trump won, like Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan. So I think the remarks were unfortunate.
All right, let's stop right there. By the way, just like I have the exclusive on what type of bomb was used, and it's the type used in the Middle East. I haven't even gotten to that. The story's on Infowars.com. I have the exclusive. This gets into medical record stuff about Hillary. And the brain tumor was removed in 2013. She was gone for a year into 14. But reportedly, the brain tumor has not grown back. But it caused damage in her middle ear, and she has vertigo. Now, people speculated that when she's wearing the anti-seizure glasses, but that's why when you see her walk now, she doesn't know when to give up, man. I mean, she's a tough gal. I'll give her that. I mean, she's like, whoa, on the deck of a boat. That's why when you see her walk out, if you've ever had vertigo, ever been sick or stuff, I've had it, you kind of like, that's how you walk. And I was in that video, reminded me a few weeks ago, I got that from a very high-level source, that she's been treated for it and takes all sorts of medication. This is somebody from the campaign, but this is why I wanted to play this for Roger. Roger Stone, former chief strategist and head of the Trump campaign, who's an incredible source and obviously broke the tellers through things, said in January he'd be out in March. He's about to take over here. But, Roger, it just reminded me that Suddenly, Joy Behar is apologizing to the vice president for saying that Christians are mentally ill. And suddenly, everywhere they're apologizing, everywhere they're saying they're wrong, I think they realize they've wrecked their ratings so bad and that things are falling apart and they are losing. And stealing elections isn't good enough for them unless it's Pennsylvania or where they target everything, Alabama or Pennsylvania. But then when it's a general election, they don't have the money or the power to steal it everywhere. Their donations are down. Everything's down. As long as we stay excited, we're going to win. So I see them kind of trying to rebuild their credibility now, criticizing the old Democrat guard and trying to get Hillary to fade away and go away. But she's so delusional she won't go away, like a horrible case of syphilis or gonorrhea or herpes.
Well, the real problem here, of course, is not Hillary's physicality, although that's entertaining enough. You and I were accused of inventing false rumors about her health when everything we said was based on our observations. The woman could barely walk down a flight of stairs, constantly falling down, coughing fits, weird head gyrations. This is clearly someone without the stamina to be president. What the real problem is her attitude, her elitist attitude that people in the middle of the country, working class people who aren't in LA or New York couldn't possibly be right about anything. We're hillbillies, we're rednecks, we're nobodies, we're second class citizens to her. There's no money to rip off from us for the Clinton Foundation. She has, since the election.
That's right. We're not good marks for her, because I know nice folks from New York come down here and they think, where's the horses? I mean, they don't understand how sophisticated the Midwest, the South, the places are, and the people. And it's really like a mentally ill behavior that they're so elitist. And think that Midwesterners Midwesterners are the coolest people I know. And I love Texans, but I love my wife who grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. I love people from Michigan, man. I love people from all over this country. And I like a lot of Californians, but they're always fifth-generation Californians. They're not the carpetbaggers that tried to go there and be movie stars. I mean, you couldn't pay me to live in Los Angeles. These people have no idea. But, actually, Texas is horrible, Californians. You stay right there. You're right. We're all idiots here. We can't even wipe our asses, so you stay right there. Sorry, Roger, go ahead.
Look, it's political snobbery. Hillary so far has blamed the FBI, Bernie Sanders, working people. She implies that everyone who voted for Donald Trump is a racist. She cannot see herself. She doesn't understand that the voters realize that she is a mean-spirited, venal, greedy, selfish, entitled psychopath. And they didn't want her anywhere near the presidency. She's a thorn in the side to the Democrats. They would like her just to get off the stage and go away. She keeps reminding them of the foibles of she and her husband. She's lucky that the two of them aren't in prison. She wants to keep relitigating the last election. She cannot accept her defeat. But Alex, give her credit for dependability, or I should say consistency. She called us deplorables before the election. She called us deplorables after the election. It's the height of ultra left-wing bi-coastal elitism.
I just can't believe she gets up in speeches and says stuff like this, and it's just maniac behavior. I mean, there's a lot of wonderful places all across this country. Northern California is one of the most beautiful places in the world, and there's a lot of great Californians, but there's just no doubt wherever Democrats are in control, Detroit was the center of world industry until one Democrat got elected, and it became a crap hole within 10 years. I mean, haven't people figured out collectivism really sucks, Roger?
We'll be right back on the Alex Jones Show. Stand by.
That's right. I got to say, Roger, you are a clothes horse, but that particular suit is sharper than hell. We'll be right back. I still haven't gotten to the Mickey Brzezinski thing. I'll play that, then I'm going to get out here and let Roger take over. And he's going to be hosting the War Room with our own Owen Schroyer as well. Coming up, spread the live links and articles. You're our only hope.
Someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
It's also what happens when you listen to the radio host, Alex Jones, who claims that 9/11 and the Oklahoma City bombings were inside jobs. I don't know what happens in somebody's mind or how dark their heart must be to say things like that.
The Russians ran an extensive information war campaign against my campaign to influence voters in the election. And then they began to weaponize them. And they began to have some of their allies within the internet world, like Infowars, take out pieces and began to say the most outrageous, outlandish, absurd lies you can imagine.
But Trump doesn't challenge these lies. He actually went on Jones's show and said, "Your reputation is amazing. I will not let you down."
Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones coming to you live from the front lines of the Infowar.
Make no mistake, we've made some major gains against the globalists, but they're striking back all over the world. Now more than ever is the time to get prepared with the highest quality emergency supplies across the board. Medical supplies, emergency supplies, communications, tactical, it's all there, and we're adding more and more every day of the very best products out there. So go to fortifiedsupply.com today to not just see the great products we offer there, but links to some of the other great sponsors that we have as well. That's fortifiedsupply.com.